news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The Philippines has lifted the temporary deployment ban on overseas Filipino workers to Saudi Arabia. Labor Secretary Silvestre Bello III said the Saudi government assured them that foreign employers and agencies will shoulder the cost for the mandatory quarantine of OFWs. Bello advised the Philippine Overseas Employment Administration to provide the necessary clearance in all departing Filipino workers for their travel to Saudi Arabia. The Labor Secretary also apologized to affected OFWs for the inconvenience brought by the deployment ban. The Health Department reports that COVID-19 cases in the NCR Plus bubble is on the downtrend. However, that's not the situation in other provinces in the country. To tell us more about this, we have Faith Del Mundo. She's reporting to us live from Quezon City. Faith, good afternoon. Where are we seeing a surge of COVID cases?
Yes, Risa, the DOH has raised alarm on the uptick of ICU bed usage in at least 6 regions in the country. In today's Laging Handa public briefing, DOH Undersecretary Maria Rosario Berhere reported that the utilization rate of ICU beds in Cagayan Valley and the Cordillera Administration region reached 71%. This is considered a high-risk numbers by the department. Central Luzon, Calabarzon, and Caragas ICU beds for COVID patients are also at 71% usage. Zamboanga Peninsula is a concern since it reported a 79% utilization rate of its ICU bed COVID-19 beds. In other updates, Berhere said there is still no reported community transmission of other COVID-19 variants in the country. She explained that the DOH is still waiting for the official guidance and assessment of the transmission WHO. Berhere added that the agency is only limited by doing selective purposive sampling for the genome sequencing. The Undersecretary said they still have to see if the current death rate in the country has a direct correlation to the variants. Currently, they have only identified the UK variant in 2% of disease patients. The South African variant was found in 2.1% of COVID-19 deaths. Berhere noted that there is a limitation of surveillance when it comes to variants, so they cannot make a conclusive report yet. Risa, the DOH reminded the public to always follow minimum health protocols wherever the level of virus transmission in the country. And if it's your turn to get vaccinated against COVID-19, don't miss the opportunity. Risa?
Thank you for that report. That's Faith Del Mundo reporting live from Quezon City. Meanwhile, Moderna and AstraZeneca vaccines donated by the United States may arrive in the country next month. That's according to the Philippine Embassy in Washington. Diplomacy head Mark Lim ensured that they are in close communication and coordination with the United States government regarding the donation. Now, as of the moment, the embassy has yet to determine how many vaccines will Manila receive from Washington. The donation is part of the U.S. 80 million excess supply of vaccines that they committed to donate to allies and countries in need. Now, here are other stories we're keeping our eyes on. The European Commission has backed the use of Pfizer vaccine on adolescents as young as 12 years of age. The European Medicines Agency said 2 doses of Pfizer's Comirnaty vaccine are allowed for children aged 12 to 15 and should be administered with an interval of 2 to 3 weeks. Germany and Italy are planning to administer the jabs to 12 years old. Sinovac's CoronaVac shot reduces COVID-19 deaths by 97%, according to early results of the vaccination campaign in Uruguay. For fully vaccinated individuals, CoronaVac reduced COVID-19 infection by 57% and intensive care admissions by 95%. Uruguay, which heavily relies on Sinovac vaccines, has used the jabs on 712,000 of its population. And 3 movie theater chains in the United States no longer require wearing a face mask inside the cinema for fully vaccinated individuals. Moviegoers who are not yet vaccinated need to continue wearing masks while social distancing and cleaning protocols will remain in place. This came after the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said fully vaccinated people don't need to wear masks in any setting. Now, some countries are already starting to go back to normal, but that doesn't mean the pandemic is over. how can you still keep yourself safe indoors and outdoors? WHO Dr. Oliver Morgan explains that in this video.
How does the SARS-CoV-2 virus that causes COVID-19 spread from one person to the other? And how can we keep ourselves safe both indoors and outdoors? Hello and welcome to Science in 5. I'm Vismitha Gupta-Smith and these are WHO's Conversations in Science. We're talking to Dr. Oliver Morgan today. Welcome, Oliver.
Thank you, Vismitha.
Oliver, my first question to you is, what have we learned so far about how this virus spreads from one person to the other?
COVID-19 spreads when respiratory aerosols or droplets that contain the virus are inhaled or get in contact with our nose, mouth, or eyes. This is why it's particularly important to follow the recommendations of WHO about avoiding the 3 Cs. And those 3 Cs are crowded places, being in close contact with other people, and also avoiding confined places that have poor air circulation.
Oliver, what do we know about transmission indoors as well as outdoors?
Vismitha, we recommend that when people do meet, they try and meet outdoors wherever possible. This is because we understand that COVID-19 can be transmitted when people talk, when they laugh, and even sing. So it is really important that we maintain good air circulation or airflow, which includes meeting outdoors. On the other hand, when we meet indoors, it can increase the risk of transmission if there is not good air circulation. That is because we understand that the length of time that we are meeting inside can also be a risk of transmission. In particular, we've seen that people who are in the same household can transmit.
And for more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World Online. You may also visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.
Mic test 1 2 1 2 3. Kabilang sa nasawisin na Police Executive Master Sergeant Jonathan Alvarez, Police Staff Sergeant Nolito De Velos Jr. at Police Corporal